back to another vlog. This weekend I am heading to Solo Market at Leadenhall Market in London. That's on the Saturday, and then on the Sunday I'm going to Bournemouth Craft and Flea at the Pavilion. I've done a little bit of restocking of products because if you saw last week's vlog, both markets went very well, so I had to restock a few items, especially the sun catchers because the mushroom design I actually sold out of. So they've been restocked, and tomorrow I'll be restocking some sticker sheets. I probably won't film that because it's a bit repetitive. They will be made in time for Swindon because I don't need them for Solo. This room is a bit of a mess at the moment. Sorry if you can hear my cats. I've shut the door and he's not happy about it. Anyway, Casper, just wait 2 seconds. So this room that I'm in at the moment is my lounge. It's a bit of a mess, but the other room is in a worse state, so I'm going to pack my bags in here. For Solo Market I'm only going to need 2 suitcases because it's a half table setup like last time, but for Bournemouth Craft and Flea it's going to be a full table setup like I normally do, so I'm going to need a few more things than I will for Solo, so I'm going to pack them in some extra bags that I can just grab and go on the Sunday morning, because Saturday night I don't think I'm going to get back very early. Last time I got back at like 8 PM, so I'm not going to have time to repack stuff or the energy to repack stuff, so I'm going to get it all done. So I'm going to get it all done today. So yeah, I'm going to show you a bit how I actually pack the suitcase, how I fit everything in, and what things I'm actually going to take to Solo, because it's going to change up a bit this time. So we're going for a weird angle again, so you'll be able to see how I'm packing my bags. But the first thing I need to do is actually empty them all. So this is my stock suitcase. So this is basically predominantly stock items. First of all, I'm going to take everything out because Solo Market last time I took notebooks. Not taking notebooks again. They're too heavy, they didn't sell, no point. So I will need this. So I'm basically going to try to be careful where I put things because I don't want to leave anything behind. So things that I am going to need, I'm going to put here. Anything I don't need, I'm going to chuck over here. So basically how I pack everything in my stock suitcase is I start with this cardboard box. I've kept these 2 flaps on, but I've cut these ones off so that it's easier to open and close, but it just means that there's something there, that not everything's just going to fall out of the box straight away. I see Blue's been keeping you occupied. So for phone rings, I know. So to pack this box, I'm going to start with the heaviest stuff. So although this is going on display, so I'm going to need it first, I'm just going to put it in at the bottom because it will be better organised this way. Colouring books, I can put some on their side there. These are then bundles of pens. So these ones are the Celestial Cats and Space Dinos. And then I have my 2 new designs, which is my Black Cat pen and my Dino pen. So normally this box is a lot more full by now because normally I have my notebooks in. My phone rings also go in there. We can also pop sticker sheets in, and I might also put my sticker pack, and I'll also put my sun catchers in. Okay, so how I normally group these together is I put all the cats together and then all the dinos and everything else in a packet, because I find that keeps them a little bit more organised. before I forget, I'll grab little A6 notepads. There we go. So the next thing I'm just going to do is restock my charms. Had to run off that because I had an exciting parcel come. My new coaster has arrived, along with a restock of the original 2 designs that I ordered because they have sold extremely well, and I only had like 2 left of the blue one and 1 left of the yellow one. So I ordered more and they've just arrived. I need to go through and quality check them, but they look good from what I've seen so far. So I'm going to keep some A5 envelopes in there because they're good for mini prints. And obviously I need signs. But I'm going to take all of those cards. I was going to restock some of them, but again I think I've got enough for solo. And they're the totes anyway. I'm just going to move this one out of the way for now, but I will be coming back to this one because I need to put my t-shirt stock in here. How's the weight? Oh, the weight's a lot better than last time. This one is all my display stuff. Plus, it also has my t-shirts in it for this one. So for solo, I'm only taking the green t-shirt, so all the natural colour will go in a separate bag. You take the Sunday. At some point I'll show you how I pack everything for a bigger convention or market too, because at the end of the month I will be heading to the Royal Bath and West show. I'm quite excited for it. I don't know what it's going to be like for me because I've never done it before. So in this folder is where I store my stock for my magnetic planners, but I also keep in my display colouring books, my prints, and then also the display magnetic planners. But obviously I don't want them, but I do want that stuff, so I'm just going to take them out. I always save some of the grids to go on top of these ones before putting them in, so that there's a little bit of a buffer so these don't get dented. So I need 9 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So normally with bigger markets, when I'm not travelling by train, I'll just take an extra couple, just in case I've miscounted. But I'm going by train, and I don't want to take excess weight, so. And these go in on top. These are all my border clips. Very important things. So I put this at the top just because it's acrylic. I don't want things breaking it. There's not much else to do, so. I will say from last time, solo market is not my favourite market. For a few different reasons. One being, I have to get the train. And I prefer not having to get the train. Another being it's very tight behind the tables, and I only knew this because a friend that has done it before told me. It doesn't say anywhere on the website that it's going to be like that, which is a little bit annoying, to be quite honest. Because last time there wasn't really, last time there really wasn't any room for us to sit down, so most of the day I was stood up or just kneeling on my chair because I couldn't actually sit down, which was really annoying, and I think that was partly the reason why I was so tired at the end of it, because I'd been stood up most of the day. This is my box of business cards, which that's all I've got left, so I need to order some more of them. We'll just do that for now. They can go on top, and then the coasters I can just slide in. I don't have to open the suitcase properly. So in this box I store mystery bundles, because I don't take them to every market, and then also my display notebooks. I'm going to pop these in. I'm just going to pop this in. This is extra sanitary stock, which I don't want solo. And then I've got my 3 desk mats there, my display desk mat. I actually need to restock my sticky notes because they're looking a bit diminished at the moment. So I will chuck some more. Sketchers bag has my gachapon in it. It's quite useful because it has handles. I thought that was going to take me a lot longer, so that's good. And I will catch you in the next clip, which will probably be Saturday, but who knows. So see you in a bit. So I haven't brought my notebooks today, but I've just put the 2 extra sticker sheets here, the packaged colouring books up here, and then the new notepad just down there. Annoyingly, you can't quite see the design, so I may change it, I'm not sure, but for now that will do. And then I've got the display colouring books just here for people to flick through. And then yeah, that's managed to get everything on. T-shirt's gone on the side today, and then I've got some tote bags up on the back. And then I've got even more designs for sun catchers, including my new Spinosaurus. So I'm all set up at Leadenhall Market. Last time I came it was very quiet for the first 2 hours, so I'm not expecting anything much until sort of 1:30, 2 o'clock. So I'm going to have some lunch while it's a bit quieter and then see how today goes. Hi, so I'm back again. I didn't end up doing any more updates yesterday because quite honestly the market went bad and the whole day was not great in terms of travelling and everything as well, so it wasn't great. I didn't even make my minimum, which was £200, and the transport was awful. I will probably go more into it at the end, but I'm trying to start a new day fresh. This is with Flea, so normally I do quite well with them, so fingers crossed this one goes better, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. I will film my setup today as well, so see you in a bit. So I'm just jumping on to do a little voiceover while you watch me set up a Bournemouth craft and Flea. I was trying very hard to be positive for Sunday, but you may have been able to tell from the last clip that it had been very draining, and I think I just needed to let myself have some time after solo market. So I thought I'd explain a little bit of what happened on the Saturday and why I felt like it didn't go well. So the day started off well, I got to the station on time, the journey on the train was fine. I actually got a seat that wasn't right next to the door on the train this time, so I wasn't in everybody's way blocking people with my bags. However, when I got to London is where it went downhill. I decided to try the buses this time. I had checked some routes before I left for the buses and it all seemed fine. However, the stop I was waiting at had multiple buses stopping at it, and I was reading like the list of buses that I could take and I misread that and got on the wrong bus. I realised after the first stop that I was on the wrong bus, so I got off at the next one. I then let Google redirect me to another bus stop because at that point I didn't know where I was going. So once I got to that stop I had to wait 10 minutes for the bus, but I got on that bus. That journey was fine. I got off at the next stop where I was supposed to, and then I waited and I waited and I waited and the bus did not turn up. It was one that was supposed to go every 5 to 7 minutes. I waited for about 15 minutes and it just never turned up. There was no sign of it. Other buses came and went. The bus I needed did not. So in the meantime, Google had redirected me to another bus stop and it was in the opposite direction. So I was like, okay, let's just go. Walk to the next bus stop. When I nearly got to the bus stop, it quickly dawned on me that I was going to have to walk up what essentially was 2 flights of stone stairs to get up onto a bridge. Now, I did not realise that there was a bridge, and obviously there's no way for Google to tell you that there are stairs on the route that you're about to walk on, so that was a fun little surprise I had. And as you can probably imagine, there were quite a lot of swear words that happened at this point because I was already running extremely late. So I managed to carry both of my suitcases at the same time up onto this little platform, which was only about a third of the stairs, and I was absolutely knackered at that point and I was really prepping myself up to go to the next section. In my head I was thinking, right, I'll just leave one suitcase here, I'll have to walk up with that one, leave that one at the top, hope no one nicks it, run back down, grab the next one and walk up. But luckily a guy came up behind me and was like, do you want a hand? I was like, yes please, I will happily take some help. And I was expecting him to just grab one suitcase. He didn't. He grabbed both of them and he just walked up those stairs like they were nothing. But I did get on the next bus and it was only 2 stops, but we got to the next stop and then I had to walk from there, which was only like a 3-minute walk to then Leadenhall Market, so that little walk was fine. In my head I was getting a little bit stressed because by the time I got there I was 30 minutes late, and so I only actually had an hour to set up, so I was feeling a little bit frazzled and a little bit drained. Last time the market stayed quiet for the first couple of hours and then it picked up, and so I was kind of hoping that that would happen for this one, but it didn't. It just stayed quiet the whole day. Solo markets at the Leadenhall Market, from my experience, seem to be hit or miss as to whether they do well or not. I mean, that can be the same with any market, but because this one is very reliant on tourists, it seems more hit or miss. The journey home was no better than the journey there. So the first bus was so overcrowded that we were shoulder to shoulder, and it was so like overheating on that bus, it was disgusting. And then to make matters even better, they cut the route short, which obviously caused a lot of confusion between a lot of people. Annoyingly, it was the stop before the one that I needed, so I then had to walk about 10 minutes to the next stop to get back to Waterloo. So I got on the next bus was fine, it was only a couple of stops, and then I got the train home. The train home was fine, but at the point of being on the buses, I was starting to go into shutdown. I just wanted to get home. Once I got home, I literally had food, packed the car up for Sunday so that I wouldn't have to wake up even earlier in the morning, and then went to bed, and that was my night. I was absolutely shattered for Sunday, but I did push through it as I loved the Craft and Flea events. You've been seeing my little setup as I've been chatting, but this table setup is very similar to my previous full table setup, just with a few tweaks here and there. space and dinosaurs.
I mean, it makes perfect sense, right? And you know, some people believe they came from space, so fits.
Space died from space.
So here's a little time lapse of me just packing up, and I will also go through how Sunday went. This was not one of the best Craft and Fleas I've been to. It wasn't bad, there was just a lot of browsy customers and it got quiet about 2 hours before the end. I've not known this of a Craft and Flea event before, but this one was like a drastic drop off. But I did go around and buy a few things for myself, just little things, you know, just for some retail therapy after the weekend that I'd had. The quietness of the market was by no means the organisers' fault. They are amazing at promoting their events, with being active on social media and in the local area to promote the events. I believe it was down to the nice weather. The whole of Bournemouth was quiet apparently, even the beach was. I suspect a lot of people had gone away for the weekend to other areas to enjoy the nice weather. So I'm going to go through all my expenses now. So the table fee was £45, same as last time. The train was £32.60, the parking at the station was £5.20, and the bus fare was £3.50, so it was about £5 cheaper than the tube. Was it worth it? Don't know that it was. I ended up actually making £169, which when you think about the amount that I spent to be there and taking away my product cost, it left me with about 30 quid. And to be quite honest, with the amount of effort that it took me to be there, it really wasn't worth it. So the table cost was £55.80, the fuel to get there was £13, and the parking was £26.70. There is a cheaper car park that you can park at, but it is about a 10-minute walk away, and I was shattered and I didn't want to deal with that, so I just parked at the car park at the venue. In total I took £290, so this left me with an okay profit after product costs, but it just wasn't on the level of previous craft and flea markets. I was tempted not to post this vlog as it wasn't the outcome that I had hoped for, but I think it's important to be realistic and show that not every market is going to go well, even if a particular one normally does. It has been a couple of days since and I am feeling a bit more positive. I am attending Swindon Craft and Flea on Sunday, so I'm looking forward to it and I will let you know how that one goes as well. So I'm going to leave it here and I will see you next time. Bye!